Okay. Hey guys, this is my first story time video. I've never done one before, so if I'm like talking fast or whatever, just bear with me. So yeah, I'm gonna do a story time video about the time where I caught my boyfriend. Well, I didn't catch him cheating, but I found out he was cheating on me and I tracked him down at a Burger King. So this is how it happened. It was a couple years. It was a couple years ago. The relationship sucked. I don't even know why I was in it. I was young and I was dumb because he was terrible. I'm not gonna call him by his name. We should probably give him a name. What do you think?
Benjamin.
That's too long. It has to be a shorter name.
John.
Okay, John. No, that's too close to his name.
Ben.
That's Jasper's ex-boyfriend's name. Okay, we're just gonna call him Mike, okay? His name, we're gonna call him Mike. So me and Mike have been together for just about a year at the time, and it was like the relationship sucked. It was like he did a bunch of sketchy stuff the whole time. He was sketchy. He was talking to other girls. It was always arguing. It was like break up every other day. It was just terrible. I mean, terrible. So it was the end of it had to be like December. It got weird because a girl that a girl that already didn't like me from years before for no reason, she had started to come around. Like, I didn't see her, but I saw that them interacting more like on social media or whatever, and he was like, oh yeah, we're friends, we grew up together, but mind you, I've never heard of them being cool with each other ever before. So I'm like, okay, that's sketchy. So me being the detective that I am, I started to look into it, and I'm like, okay, well, she already had me blocked on social media, but I decided there's always a way. What does blocked mean, really? But I found her, I got to her Twitter, and she started tweeting about him a lot. He just would say, oh no, I don't know why she's tweeting about me. I haven't even talked to her. We haven't even spoken to each other, this and that. And she used to always make little comments. And then one day, it had to be, and me and her had gotten into it more than once about the tweets, which sounds so petty, like arguing over social media. But whatever, we all do things when we're young and dumb. So we get to the end of December. Mind you, all through December, I was trying to end the relationship. I had been trying to end a relationship for months, but he was like, I'm such a terrible person, but please don't break up with me. Like, it was just like, okay, well, what are we doing? So we got to the end of December, and I remember, I don't know what.
This is like blue.
I don't know what exactly. I think I was at his house. Yeah, me and him were hanging out, and I was at his house, and I was making jokes like, "Oh, I should send her a Snapchat of me and you together," just being funny. I wasn't gonna do it. That's so petty. And he was just like, "No, don't do that. No, don't do that." He never wanted me to say anything to her or anything. So that's number one. That's weird. So we were just hanging out, and when I left his house kind of late, probably like 12:30, 1 o'clock. So when I left, I got home. She's tweeting about him. So I'm like, okay, why is she tweeting about him? She was like, oh yeah, she's this and this and that, but I'm with him right now. So I'm like, what do you mean you're with him right now? I just left his house. So the next morning, I saw that. I confronted him, me and him on the phone. He was just like, I don't know what she's even talking about. I haven't seen her in this long, whatever, the whole. So I'm like, you're lying. I knew he was lying. He was a liar. So she ended up, I gave her my number because I'm like, we need to have a conversation. She sent me text messages between them, like, oh, I love you, we should be together, this and that. And then it was like pictures of them, like they were taking little laid up pictures, and it was the same night that I left from over there. She came over after I left. So me and him are on the phone when I'm seeing this. He didn't know that she was sending it to me. So I'm like, okay, so she just sent me all this stuff. And at this point, I'm done. I am so done. He hung up the phone. I hadn't speak to him at all because he wouldn't answer the phone. He wouldn't answer text messages or anything. So I'm like, okay, you're too much of a to even respond and say anything back to me. So it's cool. I wasn't letting him go that easily. It wasn't gonna be that simple. So instead of just letting it go and just, being sad and moving on, I said no. It was like 12:30 in the afternoon. I had to go to work that evening, so I'm like, I have to figure something out. I'm like, no, I called her and I'm like, I'm still in my room at this time, heated, angry. I'm like, okay, well, we need to go find him. Like, we gotta go. So she picked me up. He lives like 20 to 25 minutes away. I come downstairs. Before we left, like, I'm waiting on her to get here. I'm putting on my shoes and my hoodies and stuff, and I'm so mad. And I tell my sister, like, someone's gonna die today. This is the end because someone's gonna die today. So we left. We riding around. We rode to his house. He wasn't there. So I started texting his friends. And mind you, one of his closest friends was one of my cousins who was like a distant cousin that I didn't really talk to. But I really don't like him at this point because he just went along with the whole cheating thing. Like, but we're cousins, this, cousin, that. But whatever, that's beside the point. So we're driving. I knew he was going to play basketball that day, and he didn't have a phone because he was a broke boy. No offense to anyone who doesn't have phones. He didn't have one because he was a broke boy. So we ended up getting we went to where he was going to go play basketball at. So we're sitting in this parking lot waiting for probably like 20 minutes. I'm like, okay, well, they're not going to come. I mean, they're not here yet. So I'm texting his friends' phones. And so I know I'm not texting. It's no point in texting him because he doesn't have a phone. He has an iPod. He iMessages me. So eventually, after leaving we rode around for a while to see if I saw the car anywhere that they were in. And we ended up pulling up. No. One of his friends, his like best friend was like, oh yeah, we're going to go get some food before we go play basketball. I'm like, okay, where are they going to go get food at? And we happened to ride up on Burger King and saw a car full of guys. So it wasn't far from where we were at. It was probably like 10 minutes away. And he was like, I asked him like, oh, y'all at Burger King? He was like, yeah. Mind you, his friends are corny for texting me this whole time anyways. But we ended up we got to Burger King, pulled up right next to the car that they were in. They were getting out, and I'm like, it was a full car full of guys. They were like, oh my God, is that Paris? Oh my God, like, oh. I'm like, okay, yeah. So I got out the car. I saw she wasn't my best friend. She was one of my friends. Somebody I was cool with. Mind you, we're not even cool now, but that's another story for another day. But I ended up I got out of the car, and I'm like, before I got out of the car, I'm like, okay, I don't want to say her name either. What should we call her? Brittany. We're just going to call her Brittany. I'm like, okay, Brittany, well, this dude, if he tries something, call the police, and if it gets too heated, you need to tell me that we need to go. And I'm just like, watch my back or whatever. So she's like, yeah, okay, I got your back. So I get out the car, and I'm like, oh, so your phone, you didn't know how to respond? You just lost service when you were at home? Your Wi-Fi went off or something? He's like, no, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Like a dumb. And I'm like, okay, that's going to really make me angry. More angry than I already am if you're going to keep playing dumb. I know he might not have been playing because he was didn't have all his marbles, but we were arguing. And I'm like, I pulled up the messages and stuff, and I'm like, well, look, this is you. He's like, no, that's not. She faked that. And I'm like, okay, you're talking to me like I'm dumb at this point. So I'm getting more and more heated by the second. I'm in his face like this, like, mind you, I'm pretty tall, but he's taller than me. Had to be like 6'3"-ish. So I'm like this in his face. I'm almost 5'8". So I'm like this in his face, like getting angry at this point. And mind you, his friends are over here in the back by the car recording the whole thing. Mind you, I'm taking out his whole life. I'm talking about everything, like being personal. I'm taking low blows, taking all types of shots at him. His friends are recording it. So I ended up, he gave me one gift out of 1 year, and it was this little cheap little necklace thing. So I ripped it off, and I was like, oh, you want this back? Because I don't want it. And he reached for it, and it was snow on the ground. Threw this I threw it in the snow somewhere, kicked it, got it all buried. So if he wanted to find it, he would have to, dig it out. But so we're arguing. He wanted to play tough, like he was gonna hit me or something. So his friend's like, no, bro, it's not that serious. You got a future to, mind you, no future. But that's beside the point. Also, I'm not gonna take that many shots at him. But it was like, what did you think? So we're like yelling in our face, in each other's faces, arguing. I threw the necklace. I knocked his phone out of his hand. I'm like, no, I'm not. Like, I was really heated to the point where people had to separate us. And we were in the Burger King parking lot. So people are staring, cars are stopping. And mind you, this is out of my character. I do not do things like that. That was like the first and last time ever. But it was like, I don't know. I was just so young and dumb and the anger just took over me. But after that, I don't even know how it like ended. I'm like, okay, well, I'm done. Don't. And he's calling me all out of my name. Like, oh yeah, that's why I cheated on you with this many girls anyway. And I'm like, okay, well, have fun with that. And when I got home that day, I was mad, I was angry, so broke into his Instagram, deleted his Instagram, got into his Twitter, changed his email so he couldn't, and I got into his email, changed his password so he couldn't get into his Twitter at all. He couldn't get into his email because I changed his email password. So I tweeted a bunch of crazy stuff on his Twitter, and I'm like, well, he's this. I put all his business out there on Twitter. Ended up, you can't really delete Twitter. You can just deactivate it. So I did that. I actually didn't do that. I just embarrassed him on his Twitter. And he's calling my phone like, can you give me my passwords? Can you give me my passwords? And I'm like, oh, now your phone works. So he ended up having his grandmother call me, like, you doing this and this to his social media. I'm like, I'm not trying to hear it. I'm not trying to hear it. I'm not trying to hear it. At this point, this is the same day that I'm finding out. So I'm like, still just angry at the world. So after I did all that stuff, I couldn't give him his Instagram back because it was already gone forever. He was so upset because it was like 3,000 followers on there. Who cares? So he was all upset about that. And he was supposedly messing with this girl again after that. Like, they had been like, I don't know, whatever. I don't know whatever that was. But surprisingly, it didn't take that long for me to get over him. It was like a month, and I was done. Like, it was like whatever. And as always, he was blowing my phone up after that. Gradually, as time went on, oh, can I see you? I miss you. I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have did this. I shouldn't have did that. I didn't realize what I had. Literally, probably like, it was like 9 months later, he was still like, can we hang out or can I see you? Trying to call me and talk to me. Like, no. At that point, I was in another relationship, the relationship that I'm in now, and it's like, my relationship now is so much healthier and is so much happier. There's no issues. We get along great. And it's just such a difference. And I'm just like, yes, thank God I dodged this bullet, because the guy I'm with now is perfect. So I'm just like, thank God I dodged this bullet, and this was meant to happen. It was meant to not work out, because I couldn't imagine if he was holding me back still, because I would not be in the same place I am in life right now if I would have stayed with that. But thank God I was done. I was so over it. It was no way I was going back to him after any of that. And yeah, I did some off the wall stuff. I didn't think about anything that I did until after I did it, obviously. And I know it was petty and extra and childish, whatever, but it's life. I don't care. I haven't seen him since that day, and I'm so happy that I moved on. I don't have any ill feelings towards Mike at all. Like, if I saw him, it would just be like, he could be right next to me with his girlfriend and baby or something, and I just wouldn't feel anything about it, because I have no feelings, bad or good, towards him at all. It was a learning experience that I've got over, and it's just life. And I'm just so happy that I'm in the place that I'm in now. So I guess I'm grateful for it, because without that nonsense, I don't know if I would be as happy as I am now. So yeah, that's pretty much the story. So ladies, don't go back to cheaters, because all the signs were there. If all the signs are there, just trust your first mind, because I knew he was a cheater the whole time. It was multiple times. This wasn't the first incident where it was something that was super sketchy or super shady that he did. So just know, follow your first mind. Don't be crazy. I mean, it's okay to be crazy because sometimes you need to be a little crazy. But just follow your first mind and don't let it drag on like I let it drag on. And then you'll find somebody perfect because that's what I did. Well, hopefully you'll find somebody perfect. It might not be like instant, like, oh, here he is, but you might find somebody. You will. And that's pretty much the end of the story. I haven't spoken to him in months at this point because I'm like, stop talking to me because I have a boyfriend. Like, stop talking to me. I'm happy. He used to call me and try to hang out or whatever. But yeah, it's pretty much the end of this story. This is my first story time video. Just comment, thumbs up. Let me know if it was good or bad or what I need to change or if you want to see another story because I have lots. I think the next one I'm going to do is the time that I was stalked, like real life stalked by somebody, like scary, almost had to go to the police kind of stalked by a guy. So yeah, I think that's the next one I'm going to do is like comment and let me know if you want me to do it or not, if you want to see it. And thanks for watching. Subscribe, you know, all that good stuff.
It's not gonna be long. Okay.
Okay.